This is the Business of Leadership Series Minute with your host, the best-selling author of Don't Buy a Duck and founder of MarketingStrategyHero.com, Derek Champagne.
Our guest today, Brian Moran, he's the founder and CEO of The Execution Company. He is a New York Times best-selling author of the book, The 12-Week Year. You've heard me talk about this book and this system many times, and so we're going to bring him right on. Brian, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, great to be with you.
Brian, I don't talk about the 12-week year as much as you do, but I talk about it quite a bit. So before we get into that, because on the show I talk about it all the time. When I go do lectures about focus and clarity, I bring up the 12-week year. I want to know first, though, can you tell our listeners just a little bit about you, who Brian Moran is, and a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into your program.
Yeah, happy to. Well, I live in Michigan. I'm been married about 30 years. Two girls, one freshman in college, one 7th grade, and we live on a horse farm. So we have Arabian show horses, which I grew up with, and then my girls got into it, so we're back doing that. But, my background, I paid my way through college with UPS, and they promoted me into management. I was getting a degree in physiology, and I got into management and loved it and took a totally different track, and moved to Southern Cal, got in with PepsiCo, and then joined a consulting firm, and then got an offer from one of those firms to be vice president of sales, and then moved back to Michigan to be closer to family, and started doing some of my own things. I have a number of businesses. The first business we started was in health services, and still have that, and involved strategically, nothing day to day. But my real love is with the 12-week year. Because it has an impact, So the thing that I love about it is we can make a difference for people, for individuals, for families, for entire organizations. So that's what I've been doing almost 20 years now.
So do you ride as well? Do you ride horses too?
I do, yeah. So I show, and which is fun.
Cool. Awesome. Let's jump right into the 12-week year. For me, our mastermind group, I talk about our View from the Top mastermind group often. It was a book that we read a couple of years ago. And I'm usually not the guy. I'm an early riser, self-motivated, don't usually read a lot of self-help books, even though I've come around to more of those. And that's not what your book is, but this book hit me. The message resonated with me. And we were at a point in our agency where my sales manager was trying to implement these KPIs, and there was this language barrier, as happens sometimes between the CEO and maybe a management team member, and I wasn't quite getting it. And the 12-week year came at a perfect time where we were able to speak the same language. So not only was it something I implemented personally, but I implemented it with our team. And I said, let's try it. Let's go all in and let's see what this is like. And with our first 12 weeks, we got better results. Our lag indicators, our results were better than we expected. We did that 4 times in a row, and we really proved it up, and it helped us with figuring out how we could scale. So I'm a big believer in it.
Yeah,
tell us a little
bit
more about how you stumbled upon packaging it this way, and what was that aha for you, and because it really makes so much sense for me.
Yeah, well, first off, I appreciate hearing the story, the successes. That's why, that's what has me doing what I do. That's the joy in it for me and for the entire team.
Derek Champagne here. Hey, if you're feeling isolated right now, if this health scare has got you working remotely, or you're feeling uncertain, I want to invite you to check out my mastermind. Come join us. It's DerekChampagneMastermind.com.